That was awesome.
Hello and welcome to tonight's session of the Dungeon Initiative. Hope you're all having a great weekend so far. It's Saturday night, we're returning back to our campaign, and I don't have anything to announce, anything special. Anybody have anything they want to say before we get tonight started?
Are we missing somebody?
We are missing somebody. I'm waiting to hear back from them.
What is up? It is your boy, Johnny Sins.
You know what's funny? I was watching footage from last time, and you come in clearly.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, just talking normal like you are now. Say something.
Apparently people can hear me when I'm talking like this.
Okay, you're good. You're good like that. Well, I'll listen to it later and I'll see. But I can hear you pretty well.
Ooh.
Your boy, Johnny Sins. Coming at you live.
But yeah, if anybody else can also reach out, let them know. And Lafaye, can you hear me
He's
okay?
on.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah,
How you doing?
I had to adjust the volume because I just realized you were really low.
Gotcha, I can appreciate
But
that.
I can hear you.
I'm gonna have to do some adjustments on my end here too. Does sound kind of
Also,
low.
Zoe, I really like the profile pic.
Why, thank you.
Oh, updated profile pic. Yeah.
Very welcome. I saw it, I was like, oh.
Yeah, she's finally fully made, so now I get to start drawing her. Once I figure out how to use
Cool. What?
once I figure out how to use Clip Studio.
Gotcha. It's gonna look really good though.
I mean, I did post some of the pictures already on Played by Art if you want to check them out.
Hello.
Hi.
Yo,
What?
He's a lot.
he has arrived exactly when he means to.
You might have to move this
So I'm
further away.
Also,
Evan
oh,
fucking
sorry.
boss mission right now, so
For sure doesn't fall on the floor.
Yeah,
Yeah. Alright. Anything that we want to address before we get started? Are we all set to begin?
Um, all I want to say is if I do sound congested or if I am coughing, I do apologize. I did have like sinus problems going on.
Seems like
You're
something's going
fine.
around lately, so yeah, just do
Yeah.
try to do try to speak clearly into your microphone as best you can, and we are starting off from where we left off.
One Piece opening starts.
um, dun 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 dun. Dun. Sorry. Um,
Copyright.
yeah, copyright. So Lafaye, did you get caught up and figure out where we left off, or what was the last thing that happened?
We were in a blimp and we came across, was it Stillwater? I know it was like a place and there was like pirates around.
They didn't say the name of the place just yet, but you did arrive at a location that seems to be harboring a bunch of pirate ships. Um, the battle balloon is like twice the size of even the largest ship there, and it has to kind of park itself out further away from the bay. There's a couple of fishermen out there that are kind of like marveling at the scale of this massive warship. Um, the sails being dropped, the balloon being receded, and it's just kind of like floating on the water. Um, I believe you were asleep at the time, but they kind of sounded alerts and sent little kegbot buddy of yours to come get you. I don't know if we gave him like a random name or something. I think we can just keep been calling him kegbot since then.
Yeah, we just called him Kegbot. There was nothing, no
Yeah,
name.
but he like comes to your door, like, came over and banged on it, and got your attention. At this point, you're kind of like out of your room, maybe dressed, and maybe headed to the top deck, right? Um, as you get up there, the kegbots are all kind of hustling around. You do see that orders were given for them to be on standby by the cannons and the weaponry, as they kind of like point them out across the water in the direction of the pirate ships. And you hear Omen saying, "Don't make it seem obvious. We don't need them thinking we're gonna attack." Oh God! Sabotage the whole thing. Lafaye, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
You feel as something gets placed on the top of your head. And Jim walks past you saying, "You look more the part. There you go."
I go to grab it and like take out, see what's put on my head.
They put a tricorn pirate hat on your head.
Goes back on.
The people along the water kind of watch you guys as you're climbing into like a small rowboat, and you don't see the oars there or anything. Instead, you see a couple of brooms that were laid out, and Omen and Jim are kind of looking at each other like, do we use these? And Omen's just kind of like, no, we don't need to draw attention. He like grabs the brooms and like passes them up to you. Just give them to one of the random keg bots there, okay?
Yeah.
When you turn to hand it to one of the randos that are coming by, your keg bot is looking up at you and says, "I'm ready for adventure."
She's just gonna like smile a bit and she's gonna say, "Just stay close, okay?"
Yay! Lifts his hands up for you to pick him up.
Sure. She picks him up.
When you like shift him over to the boat, Jim immediately is like, "Oh, come on, why? Why'd you bring him?"
What? What's wrong with him?
Nothing.
He's sticking around. I'll make sure he doesn't do anything stupid.
The boat begins to be lowered down into the water. You can hear like there's gunshots going off in the distance, roaring laughter, and the closer you guys get to shore, the heavier the smell of alcohol kind of grows in the air. The beach running up to the town itself, that's kind of like embedded between this like canyon, essentially. You see that like it's like littered with clothes and other debris and pieces of like wood, and there's like random fires with like a couple of people like partying around them or just smoking near them. There's bottles everywhere. There again, different flags of different colors, maybe even different regions of the world, kind of line up the coastline, and people dance and jostle around with each other. Jim leans into you, and as you guys are kind of like walking up the beach together, he says, "Does anything feel a little familiar just yet?"
She's gonna look around. I mean, does she like kind of have like like little like idea of where she's at?
Go ahead and make a history check.
9.
You're like getting very vague like ideas, and like the smell of alcohol isn't unfamiliar to you. The kind of like dancing around of people kind of like sparks like some kind of like thoughts in your mind, but nothing specific, right? As you guys move further into the town, you do notice that there's like people who kind of watch you guys from the shadows as you pass on by. Some people are kind of like offering you like bottles of liquor or any other wares that they might carry on them, especially jewelry. It's kind of hard to tell what's legitimate business versus just somebody trying to scam you, because it's all kind of blending in.
Yeah.
Omen leans in and says, people like to sneak around in your pockets here, so keep an eye out for that. And go ahead and make a perception check.
$15.
So, while you guys are making your way through this crowd, you notice that there's like this opening in the street that kind of divvies off left to right. The building that's in the middle stands with these large, wide open doors and a sign on the front that swings. And the thing hanging off of it, it almost looks like a like a like a halfling hanging off of it. And on the side of the halfling, you know, because it's made of wood, engraved on the side of this, it says, I have it written down, the Hands Tavern. And go ahead and make a history check here.
$15.
15?
14.
14. While you're looking at this place, Jim, you know, is looking you over. Omen shrugs and says, I guess nothing yet. Alright, let's keep going. But they kind of move towards the tavern, and as you're kind of following to the left of the tavern itself, you notice that there is a small girl kind of like making her way between the crowd of legs and stuff. And she's wearing an all-white dress with a black belt and black boots, and she has a small satchel running across her back too, and she's wearing a tricorn hat as well. Her hair, oddly enough, it looks like it was brown at some point, but she had like attempted to bleach the tips of her hair, and then very, very wildly just kind of put a bunch of like random colors of paint into her hair. And she's like seemingly sneaking around, looking a little suspicious, and then she like dips off and disappears to the left street. What do you do? Jim and Omen moving ahead of you to the tavern. Curious little sight off to the left. Randomness around you. Where are you going?
She's gonna go to the suspicious girl.
Okay. Make a perception check as you approach that area.
20.
Alright, so choosing to follow after, do you check and see what's going on with Omen and Jim at all as you do this? Do you let them know? Or are you just kind of following your instinct and going that way?
She kind of like looks at both of them just to like see if they're like looking at her before she
They're
goes
not,
off?
at the moment they're not directly paying attention to you. They're kind of like pushing into the crowd as you kind of turn your attention to the girl.
Yeah. Then she's just gonna go.
Okay. So, pushing between the crowd of random people, you make your way between an alley, and you see that it's just like this paved, like not paved, like a dirt road leading in between the two buildings, and you see her kind of like turn left around the corner. As you continue to pursue her, you see that it opens up, and there's not a lot of like building structures here, more so just kind of people laid out on the sand looking out over the water and out to the bay. But maybe to the west of where this little town sits, there's a river that kind of runs inland on the island, and you see her kind of running down in that direction.
She's gonna follow, but she's kind of gonna like keep a distance. That way she doesn't like spook the girl off.
Are you trying to be stealthy about it?
Yes.
Make a stealth check.
Sure. 1 second. 33.
So yeah, you're kind of like moving up towards her, and there's like a couple of people that like stand up to kind of like walk past you. They look like they're like drugged out, their eyes are sunken in, and their skin is very pale. They like don't even notice you as they walk, and as you kind of like walk past them, she looks back in your direction and then looks away, giving you that opportunity to like sneak past and keep pursuing her. Eventually, you find yourself at the base of where the river is, and it's again running inland. You see her kind of like crossing over, and you see that there is a small fisherman boat docked off to the left of the river, and she's like moving up towards that direction. I would say it's about another 80 feet.
She's gonna like try and like kind of like pick up the pace, but still try to be like stealthy about it.
All right, go ahead and make another stealth check here.
29.
Solid. Yeah. You're you cross the river without a sound, duck into the brush, and kind of move between the trees, going up the along the side of the river, and you see her like hop up into her boat from a distance. It's got like this nice white paint to it. It's kind of scuffed in some areas, and along the back of the boat, you see that painted on. I have the name here. Let's see. Give me a second. Okay, yeah. You see, no, on the back, painted in black, it just says the Seven Whiskers.
Southern or 7?
The Seven
7 whispers?
Whiskers.
Whiskers. Jeez, I said whispers. I am so sorry.
No, you're good.
7 whispers. Okay, let me write that down. And you said it's like a white boat.
Yeah, it's painted white with a couple of like it's been banged into things a couple of times, so it's scuffed with black and brown in some places.
Okay.
But yeah, she's like kind of hopping in. This thing looks big enough to hold like maybe like 4 or 5 people in it. It's not a particularly large boat, but it's large enough and small enough to kind of like have her like she's kind of pushing away from the riverside to get it up and moving all along the stream. What are you doing?
Gonna make like a mental note about that and just kind of like leave her be, but still like a bit suspicious of her, and she's just gonna go back and like to a tavern where Jim and Coleman are.
So you head back. Arriving at the tavern, you see that the place is a complete mess. The floor is kind of sticky. You can even hear as people are walking around that noise as they're like kind of moving back and forth. Some people are dancing off from the corners near the bars. You can see the bartenders like annoyed and pissed off, yelling at people. Jim and Omen are like right there next to the bar, and they're like looking like Jim's like looking around, while Omen seems to be like talking to the bartender. But it's this very large orc woman who's like in the middle of like the dance floor, who's just laughing at people and like pointing at them. She's kind of like being obnoxious to the point where you can tell that there's people who are getting like really pissed off with her. And you hear her shouting, "Look, look, 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 one with the ears just walked in. You see that? This place just lets anybody in nowadays. Absolutely disgusting." And go ahead and make a perception check.
Hey, okay. That's cool. Perception. 14.
Roast the fuck out of her.
Yeah, aside from her, kind of like further back along the side of the wall, you see that there's a guy like sitting there, very large built guy, kind of guy with a lot of furs going along his shoulders. Looks like a wolf pelt of some kind. Very heavy leathers and such going across his chest. He like is looking in your direction right at you as you walk in, and then just kind of like looks down as you continue to push into the tavern. But as you're like
He
approach,
looks.
go ahead.
I was gonna ask, like, when he looks down, like is he like giving like this mad expression, or like just kind of like, huh, like expression?
Just looking at you. That's it.
Just that. Okay.
But where do you go from there?
She's gonna go to Jim and Omen.
Okay. So as you're making your way through, pushing past a lot of the drunk guys and ladies who are also like kind of dancing along, they bump into you, try to get you to dance, and you pull away from them, and at the last second, right before the end of the dance floor, make a dexterity save.
16.
So they try to play it like it was an accident, kind of stumbling back, and then they turn and they fling the cup, and the beer like flies forward, but you see it coming and you just dodge it. And the orc woman says, "Oh, sorry about that, knife is. You didn't want to ruin your pretty little fit. Say, where did you get these leathers?" And she like grabs at like your shoulder and like tugs it.
I don't know, like, kind of like shoes off the hand.
Okay, then you just gotta brush it off.
Yeah, just brush it off, kind of like, don't touch me.
Oh, you didn't like getting touched. A long way from your fairy families, aren't you?
From what I'm saying, you look like you run the place or something like that.
Ha! You hear that, boys? I run the place now. We might as fucking well. That being said, I guess I should throw your runt little ass out, shouldn't I?
That if I were you.
You can see it. You can see like Jim in the background. He's just like,
If you're making a face, I can't really see what's going on.
oh my god. Jim's just like punching like the air in front of him, like kind of encouraging you to like hit him, hit her, yeah, do it. Yeah.
Oh.
Intrusive thoughts. Kill him. Kill him now. Do it.
Just a dark cloaked hue behind her. Do it.
Do it.
Feed it. Hatred.
Execute Order 66.
Execute Order 66.
Kill all the orcs. Do it now.
So Lafaye, it's your turn. What are you doing?
She just looks at her like she just says like like is like what she says. She's just saying like I wouldn't do that if I were you. She just like gives her like this eye like this look of like don't even try it.
Does a 17 hit you?
Nope.
Huh?
Nope.
I don't assume a 6 hits you either.
No.
This hulking like orc just like throws a haymaker at you. You just kind of dodge out of its way. She like tries to uppercut you. You step back. You can go ahead and make a counter attack if you'd like.
Yes, I do. See, that's dexterity for throwing a punch.
Huh?
Actually, that's I was saying like that's a deep wait.
Are you
Dexterity,
are
right?
you just throwing a punch at the very large lady, or are you gonna? What are you?
Well,
what are you doing?
I was thinking about like she just grabs the hilt and just kind of like hits her with the end of the hilt.
Okay, solid.
So dexterity, right?
Yeah, just make an attack just make an attack with your normal weapon, and it's not lethal, so you're just hitting with the blunt end.
Awesome.
Look at
28.
me. Look at me.
Roll
28.
roll damage.
Nine.
Yeah, you smack them across the jaw, and you immediately see their tooth kind of like press against the lip and then snap it open, and they fall back, grabbing their faces. Blood pools over over their chin. The crew that surrounds her are just like, "You alright, boss? You alright? Holy shit! Crack their fucking mouth open!" Oh.
She just looks at her like, I did warn you. I thought you were supposed to run this place. I thought you were tough. Guess not.
Jim comes up behind you, puts an arm on your shoulder, and that's why you don't fuck with Captain Lafaye right here. Come on, Captain. You need a drink after that one.
Look at me. Look at me. I am the
I really
captain.
do. She gets there. She's like, you know what? A drink does not sound terrible. Oi, give me two.
Omen is just like, no, cup of water. Look at that picture up there. And he points like behind the bar, kind of like between the bottles and stuff. There's like a series of different like wanted posters that are like pinned to that wall. And specifically, he's pointing at one of like this like balding gentleman. He just kind of has like a bald cap going up the top right here, and then hair kind of barely growing off the side. And he has this like crazy look in his eye, you know. And the bounty tagged under it is like crossed off and says dead, going across the bottom.
Mm.
Make a history check as you look at this image.
Teen.
15.
14.
Omen looks at you and he's just like, does it ring a bell or anything? Any of those?
I assume it kind of does, but not like quite.
I was really hoping one of these posters would stick out to you. Here, bartender. And he leans over, calls over the bartender, and the bartender takes a good minute to kind of get past the crowd of people, and then he moves over. Like, what is it? And Omen says, this is the bounty hunter I was telling you about. Do you remember her? Oh yeah, I remember you. You came through for the bounty right here. And he points at the poster of the guy I just described, the balding gentleman. Crazy fucker, going around, ripping throats out of people with his teeth. New kind of serial killer, sick fuck. They paid you handsome for that one, eh?
They paid for, like, they paid that one? So you said?
He's saying that they paid you. Jim, seeing that you're like not responding, he's like, she's kind of got like amnesia, or maybe someone dropped her a long time ago on her head. One of the two. She can't remember exactly what happened. Well, aside from knowing that you turned in the body and got your payment, I don't know much past that.
Was it just him?
That's the only
Surely there
job I
wasn't
know about.
anybody else that I went after?
That's the only job I know about. Trying to think if there was anything else that really stuck out that night. Give me a second. Let me get a drink for this lass over here, and I'll be right back. And he like turns off and starts pouring a drink. I got you. Don't matter. Goes off, and Omen is just kind of like turning in his seat. We got to come at this differently. Take a look along the take a walk along the town. Maybe go deeper into the island. Just don't want to get lost out here. Do you have any questions for them? That's something I haven't like seen you asking or bringing up. Is there anything that you're interested in knowing about this island in particular?
Things back, and she kind of like asks for like the bartender like to come over.
He again finishes up what he's doing, wipes his hands, comes over, leans in. All right, hurry up.
Question: do you know anything about, I don't know, maybe a group called Seven Whiskers.
Nope, not familiar. Is it supposed to be some sort of new pirate group, new merchant team? Everybody's got a new gimmick.
Thank you.
All right, and like he gets up and goes back to doing what he's doing. You can make another perception check here if you'd like.
Yeah. 1 second. 18.
So with an 18, you're looking around. You see that one guy. He's like looking at you again, and as soon as you like make eye contact with him, he looks down, goes back to his drink, and opposite of where he's sitting, kind of more in like this discreet area, kind of like a VIP section where there's a bunch of like veils covering like these booths. You see that there's this like one very large gentleman sitting inside one of them. And you can only really see like the front of his chest, and then like his big head just kind of looking back through like the veil at the people at the bar and the people passing by. He seems kind of like he just glances up pretty quickly, but you just catch him as he like makes eye contact with you, and he holds it for a second, and then he kind of goes, raising his glass to you, almost like a salute.
Tips the hat a bit. Like, thank you.
Jim, noticing you do that, he goes, "Do you know that guy?"
No. What?
Why'd you tip his hat? Why'd you tip your hat at him?
Well, he raised the glass. Now, he kind of looks over. She gestures to that other guy. What's with this guy? Keeps looking over. Every time I look, he just looks down.
Maybe he's someone that knows you. Jim thinks maybe you
I'll
should
be right
know.
back.
That's what I was gonna say.
She leaves right when he says that.
So you're going up to the table with that one gentleman covered in furs.
Yeah.
So when you approach him, he like leans back in his seat, seemingly realizing that you're coming up to him. He just puts his head back, looks at you, and says, "A long way from home, Silverstain." If you're talking, I can't
How do you
hear
know me?
What's
Says,
up?
how do you know? How do you know me?
Reputation precedes you. The capital's words and news of the Dungeon Initiative and their accomplishments and the people involved. What brings you back to this terrible little island?
Well, I guess you could say I'm really trying to get out of a very fucked up situation. You see, I don't know why I said that. I came across a lot of problems, some which I have no idea what even happened.
Take
Let's
a
say I'm
couple
retracing
blows
my
to the head, huh?
steps. Something like that.
Are you avoiding the war?
I'm gonna make peace with the law, at least as best as I can.
What the hell does that mean?
Well, I say I've done a lot of things that are against it, and I'm trying to basically show them I'm not a criminal.
You'll find no assistance from me. Leave my table.
Then why were you looking at me like?
Because I was interested. Now, not so much. Take your problems and your war elsewhere.
And I wasn't gonna throw them onto you.
He just like stares at you. Doesn't really say anything. He looks like someone who's absolutely unimpressed.
She gives him the same look of like, bro, I'm not even trying to ask for your help or anything. And she just kind of like taps on the table. You enjoy your day? She
You as
gets
well.
up and goes,
You just go right back to Jim and Omen?
yeah, she just wanted to see what was up with that guy.
Yeah, Jim like looks pretty curious. Omen's like excited. Well, you got a clue?
He just knew who I was and was. Well, I can't talk. I'm sorry.
Omen's looking
No,
back at the
I'll
guy.
just say no.
Damn. Well, I guess we're gonna have to keep looking for some clues around here. Plan B, let's take that walk. And they finish their water, stand up, and go to leave the tavern. Make a perception check on the way out.
28.
So as you guys are leaving, getting close to the entrance of the tavern, you look back and you see that from the VIP area, the veil is kind of like pulling off as this large figure pushes through and like looks at you from over the crowd, and you realize that he's a very large, very hulking looking man. Looks like almost like the equivalent of a bodybuilder, but parts of his body kind of look misshapen in some places, and even his head looks a little too large in some places. He's like staring at you over the crowd, and almost looks like he's got like a cleft chin thing going on. But he watches as you guys are leaving, and you do anything?
No.
Huh?
No, she just goes.
All right. So following Jim and Omen, you guys head out. Alright. A heavy mist has fallen over the seas. The small boat sailing out with Zoe aboard, Maurice, Wave, and their new companion, Howard. It's quiet out in the water, and at this point in time, it's kind of, I would say it's nighttime, you know, the region kind of being close to the same time as where Lafaye is at. Lafaye, or Zoe, you can hear Wave and Maurice on the top deck, or depending on where you are, and You know that for a little while, Wave has been kind of like trying to get Maurice to work out, and you can hear him like shouting, "Come on, one more, one more. You already did one more. You might as well do two more." Ah! Now, where are you at?
She's just gonna be at the bow of the ship, looking out towards the water, wondering why they're trying to work out at this current moment.
Are you like trying to talk to them while you're doing that? Like, are you just like, "Hey, why are you doing that now?" You know?
No, she's just gonna try and like ignore them a bit.
Yeah,
Like
like
boys will. As
yeah. Maurice is crying, and you can see like his tiny arms like just barely lifting.
like
And Wave is just like, "Come on, we can't be out at sea and have a little weak guy walking around. You get flown to the water. You get lost out there. You get lost. Zoe, you gotta join us too. Come on. I do it one arm. I do it one arm. Look at me."
she looks at Eris a bit. You want to join them?
Eris stretches, wiggling their little toe beans. What? Oh, what? I think I got water in my ear.
She just stares at Eris and just laughs. Of course you do. Actually, try to see if we can find maybe some rope and sticks around.
Well, I know that there's a bunch of like fishing stuff downstairs.
That is lovely. Let's go get that.
And like as you guys stand to head down there, you hear Howard coming up. "Man, is there anything good to eat on this fucking boat? I swear the rations are dry. The water is even dry. It just tastes wrong. Do we even know where we're going?" Why are they doing
You're
push-ups?
thirsty. She shrugs. Apparently one of them is weak and they have to be strong for whatever comes our way.
We all gotta be doing push-ups. It's not just us.
Oh.
All of us. Alright, sit-ups now. We gotta do 100 of these.
Zoe's just gonna stare and then just shake her head. You're thirsty, correct?
Yeah. What gave that away?
The fact that you just said that you're thirsty.
Oh,
and
wow.
she just walks.
You must be a detective.
Oh, wow. You're gonna drive me crazy. She goes over to the barrels. A little annoyed by now because of a rabbit.
Make a perception check.
But, yay. Lovely. A 10. I don't like this dice. I don't like this letter dice. That hurt my eye. I rolled a 10.
Hold on, I have to verify that I'm a human so I can open another page on D&D Beyond. I have like 4, and it's apparently too many screens are open. Like, whatever.
Funny.
You got a 20?
No, I got a 10.
Oh.
I wish it was a 20.
Alright, let's see here. Add a game. Deduct 40 gold from your inventory.
Joke's on you, there's not even 40 gold in there.
What?
No, it's just a...
Turns out Fenrir stole all her money.
Yeah, Fenrir stole all your money.
He was just with her for cash.
He
Sounds
was
about right.
only in it for the money.
He's glad she's gone.
Oh my god.
Then we're looking around the block. Where'd my wife go?
Oh no. Alright, so you walk past him,
It's still alive.
um, and you're going down below, right?
Yep.
Okay. As you're headed down below, Eris is kind of like lighting the path for you. Seeing the torches like on the side of the wall or the lanterns, they turn into a little flame spectacle and light them all up, and then come right back to you. So what are we trying to do?
Zoe walks up towards the barrels and inspects them first to see if they're they don't have any holes or anything.
You're inspecting what is it?
The barrel.
Oh,
Barrel.
they seem to be in good condition. They might be a little bit worn out on the exterior, but they don't seem like they have any like sort of punctures or holes or any sort of damage to them specifically.
I'm gonna go ahead and create water in the barrels.
Fair enough. You do fill up one of the barrels with water.
She's gonna look at Howard. There, you have water now.
Thank you.
Just please do not get into the barrel. She's gonna walk away and look for the fishing gear.
Real quick, what are we doing out here? Since technically I'm here against my will.
We've already told you we're going to the old world.
Are you sure about that? I mean,
If they're dragging me to a different area that's not their old world, I am going to hit them.
listen. After a couple of hours being out at sea, I've come to realize a few things. One, you're a little too nice. Two, like he kind of like works his way up towards the top deck, and he's looking over at Maurice and Wave. Wave is using like part of the mast to have Maurice do pull-ups, and he's like under him, like pushing him. You mobs, you. And Howard's just like, one's completely incapable of anything, and the other one might just be, I don't know, too egotistical. These guys are gonna get you killed. Did you ever think of that?
You think that I can get myself killed?
I mean,
You have nothing I can do. And do not tempt me.
tempt you how? What did I do?
She looks at Eris.
Eris is just like, I don't know what to do.
That's why you're adorable. She grabs some of the fishing gear and goes back up the steps. And then, when she walks past Howard, her tail flicks, actually knocking him down.
He does go ahead and hop away from your tail.
Yeah.
He like looks you over, and again, like it's pretty dark in this area, and he's just like, whatever. Let me know when we're somewhere interesting, or if we're about to die, so I can try to make my daring escape. And he like just heads off below. Maurice like drops to the ground. I can't do it no more. No more. You gotta get them little arms all beefed up. Speaking of beef, he like goes over to his food. Just starts eating some of his rations.
Zoe just sighs and looks at them. There's water in one of the barrels.
there's water? And like Maurice gets up and just heads off downstairs, and you can hear Howard, "Hey, give me some alone time. I need some water. Don't put your head in the..."
Oh, he smiled as she walks back to the bow of the ship.
Wave was just kind of laughing on the top deck. Man, I knew this was going to be something. Don't you feel it, Zoe? That feeling of adventure?
Every day.
I just know we're on the right path. That's for sure. And then he turns to look at you, and he goes, "Hey, I've been meaning to ask, have you..." And then his eyes, like, turn white. And he just, like, freezes in place.
She glanced over to him as she was just preparing one of the fishing rods. Have I what?
He doesn't move. He seems to be kind of in a paralyzed state.
Are you okay? She's gonna set the fishing rod down and walk up to him.
What's wrong with him?
Eris, if I knew everything, I would have said it.
I wish I knew everything.
She just looks at him.
You're the master. You're supposed to
Oh,
know everything.
Lord. Continue now.
He broke himself.
What do you do with him in that state? Maurice coming from down below, just like, it was just a little bit of water. His head completely soaked. He like turns the corner. "Hey, Zoe, I'm sorry, but I think we're gonna need a little bit." What happened to him? And yeah, what do you do with Wave in that state?
She's gonna lightly place her fingers on like his shoulder.
As you do this, make a wisdom save.
Oh, lovely. So 29.
Exceeded expectations. As you touch him, you also go into this state, and what you see is you guys in the water, like sailing, right?
Uh-huh.
And then it like cuts real quickly, and you just see Howard like looking at you, and just kind of almost like he's glaring at you from the back of the boat. And it does another cut ahead, and you hear like a it kind of like echoes around you and across the ocean. Still kind of like in this cloudy vision, you see like this island out in the middle of the water with this kind of seemingly like black veil hovering above it, and you see a cave underneath a large willow tree. And as you go into the cave, it's pitch black, and then you see an eye that kind of stares back at you, and you break out of this vision. Both you and Wave are like kind of like on the ground, like sitting there, like having just taken that in. You saw that?
Yeah.
I need a second. Maurice is just like, "Now you're the one feeling windy. I'll get you some water." And he runs off.
By the way, it's gonna
Have a
be
chocolate. I did it to annoy him.
Oh my god.
Well, there's chocolate. And there's chocolate. She starts singing it. Alright, sorry. Yeah, Maurice goes back down to get some water. Wave is just kind of sitting there looking like he just got the wind knocked out of him. But he looks up at you. He goes, Say, how come you can see the same thing I can see?
Well, I didn't know what was going on with you, but when I went to shake you, it pulled me into that.
That's crazy.
It is, but it also makes me wonder why he was glaring. I have an odd feeling about that rabbit.
Talking about that Howard?
Yeah,
I didn't see him.
you didn't? What did you see?
It was kind of blurry. I saw us out in the water. It was cloudy like it is now. I heard something like a large monster or something. Kind of echoed from below. And then there was this island kind of cast in shadow, and there was a hole under a tree. Almost like a cave, I guess. And then there was an eye.
Well, we better be on guard then.
Yeah. Maurice comes back up, and he gives Wave a cup of water, and Wave takes it, drinks it, and go ahead and make a perception check.
21.
21.
You start to kind of have this feeling of deja vu, but you're not sure entirely why you're having this feeling. Other than maybe just the scenery from the vision kind of matching what's happening right now, but you're not entirely sure if this is supposed to be the moment from that vision. You do have this heightened sense, this feeling that there is something not too far away from you guys. As you're kind of taking in the scenery around you, Eris rubs up against your side and tries to get your attention.
She's gonna blink out of her out of the hazy daze that she was doing and look at him. What is it?
Eris just silently tilts his head towards the back of the boat, and when you do look in that direction, you see Howard is kind of looking out the back, and then he looks right at you and does the same look from the vision.
She's gonna blink a bit and then look at Eris. Is it just me or is he glaring at me?
It's not the first time, but
He's been doing that lately?
I've been catching him a little bit more. I think he just doesn't like you. Maybe again, he just doesn't like anybody.
That's fine. We probably should have just dropped him off underwater earlier then.
Well, that's kind of messed up.
Actually, I could have just made him a boat if he would ask nicely. Remember, I did make my own site as well with the help of Hugh. Either way, don't you feel like there's something nearby? Other than him and his little grouchy pantaloons.
I guess it's that feeling you have, when there's a predator nearby. Something dangerous.
Hearing you say predator is actually kind of adorable. Either way, this is kind of bringing back a few memories as well. When I was first traveling. Though I can't seem to remember. Not as fully.
finally kind of like gets up. I'm good. A few more push-ups, and I'll be back. I'll be back in order. And Maurice is like, no more push-ups. And
He's just gonna.
huh?
She's just gonna sigh because of these two.
You hear like a cup with something rattling inside of it from behind you, and you see that Howard is like kind of walking back up on the top deck, and he's like, well, since we're gonna be out here for a little while, anybody want to roll some dice? And he has basically a couple of cups for liar's dice.
Zoe looks and glanced over. I'm good. She picks up that fishing rod again and then just like finishes tying up like a hook, basically.
What, are
And
you
looks
afraid
at
to
Eric.
lose some gold? We'll play
I've
for
already spent
silver.
enough gold on the ship.
You're telling me you're not a high roller like that?
She looks at Eris and whispers to him, and this is why I don't like other people.
Eris just kind of like goes to the bow of the ship, and as Eris like goes up there, you see that from Wave's shoulder, his puppy springs off and goes to like stand next to Eris. And Eris like looks back at you like,
Zoe just stares a bit and laughs softly. But she's gonna go ahead and toss out the lure for the fishing rod.
While you're fishing, you hear Howard sit down with Maurice, who agreed to go ahead and play, and you hear like the exchange of like coins, and Maurice is just like, only copper. We're not gonna play for gold. I feel like you have tricks up your sleeve. And Howard's just like, come on, are any of you gonna relax for more than just 5 minutes? And I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
A 9.
You hear the wave kind of going up to the wheel of the boat. Maurice is just like, okay, I very vaguely remember how to play this game. 12 force. And Howard just rolls his eyes back. No, that's not how you start small, damn it. 2 toes. Look at what you have. And you like kind of vaguely explaining the rules, and for as far as you can tell, he's being genuine about telling the rules. And as they kind of get comfortable with playing the game, Howard starts asking, so where are you guys all from? And immediately Maurice goes, oh, we're from a town up north of Terra Promessa. It's called the Initiative Space. And then Wave is just like, man, I come from Sweetwater, but I've been all around, traveling here left and right, trying to get my gains up, And you feel this kind of wave go over you, like this feeling to suddenly tell the truth.
I'm from the old world. A small village there.
So the only thing you're allowed to do, I think, is avoid the question if you don't want to answer it with a lie, because you can't answer it with a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
You're gonna have to make. You're definitely getting me dig into my brain about this now.
Howard, shaking his dice, calls out a bid, and Maurice is like, damn. And Howard's just like, long way back home, huh? Been a while there? He asks you specifically.
How old was I?
I mean, technically, it's only been
I did.
since you've left the village. Backstory-wise, it's only
Since
been
you've been
maybe.
gone.
It has been
Since
3
you've been
years.
gone.
Where are you? I'm so
Everything
sorry.
that's going through Zoe's mind is like, where are you? Why aren't you here with me? Why did I leave you? Why did I not bring you with me? God, I hate this rabbit. But Zoe and just laughed a bit. 3 years.
Wow. That is a long time. What exactly makes you want to go back home? You cut out if you're try to talk. Hello? Oh.
So yeah, no, I was asking Josh a question, but I'm good now. Zoe's just gonna stare off at the ocean as she's waiting for at least a fish to catch the line.
Go ahead and roll a D100.
Oh God, I'm gonna hate this. $16.
You keep holding. You're gonna keep holding that line out there for a little while.
Oh God.
Howard continues to play the game with Maurice. Wave kind of like scoping the horizon, but Howard just continues to say, "So, this initiative place, what's that all about?" And Maurice is like, "Oh, it's awesome. All sorts of people from the neighboring lands come there, and especially if you know how to do like magic, they have a whole school to train you and get you to do better. I'm not that special."
He's special to me.
He's special to us.
Um,
He's a special boy.
but
He's a special
Howard's
boy.
just Howard's just like, "Oh, don't say that. I'm sure you're special to somebody." 4 fours. And Maurice is like, 5 fours, and immediately Howard calls him a liar. And and Maurice loses that bid.
Jesus.
So what part do you play in the town? You churn butter or something?
I'm a priestess.
Fancy. Do you go around wearing the nice dresses and stuff like that?
I wear kimonos more. I don't wear dresses.
I
More
knew a guy who
traditional.
wore a kimono once. He's dead now.
In her mind, she's literally like, I wish you were dead right now.
Um, there's kind of like a tilt on the boat. It sways you guys a little bit. And your waves kind of like looking around. Go ahead and roll another D100 here.
I'm going to die. 61. Wait, why are you backwards? First it was a 16, now it's a 61.
Alright, so you feel like a tug on the line. And as it kind of pulls on the reel a little bit, you start to pull in. And Maurice kind of gets up. He's like, "You got a fish?"
I'm
And
hoping so.
make a perception check.
I'm pretty dead.
And do it with a
A 13.
disadvantage as you're distracted currently.
I'm I'm gonna punch him. So do I click this one again?
Yeah, just click that one again.
Okay.
If it's lower,
It's a 13.
So yeah, it's a 13. She rolled a natural 20 on the second one.
Yeah, so even still, like, he rolled super low. And you're pulling on the line, right? And as you're
Yeah.
tugging, Maurice, like, comes over to help you, like, yeah! You know? And you feel, like, a little hand, like, reaching into your pockets.
I
And
knew it.
Eris immediately is like, hey, get your hands out of there! And Howard's just like, you had to say something, didn't you? And as he's like arguing with Eris, you feel the line like suddenly tug to the right and toward the front of the ship. And you and Maurice are kind of like holding on to this thing. And he's like, don't let go! Don't let go! And Wave is just like, hey, yo, fellas, something ain't right. And Mhm.
Zoe's gonna actually let go of that fishing line.
Okay, you let go of the whole thing, and it flies out into the water.
The whole.
Yeah, it into the water, and with your perception check, I'll add to this in addition. You look down into the water and you see that there's a bunch of fish coming to the surface and like trying to swim off in the same direction.
Yeah.
Howard is just kind of like hops off the side. Oh fuck! And you notice that Howard's like fur is like stood up. In even Wave seems to have a couple like of fur standing up on his shoulders and such, and Eris has little flicks of flame going up his back. And Maurice is just like, why do you guys have the goosebumps?
Because what's in the water is not a good thing.
And just as you say this, you feel the sway of the boat kind of tilt, and Maurice is like turning the wheel. He's like, hey yo, something ain't right over there. And you hear like a as Wave's like turning the ship off to the right, he's looking off, and go ahead and make a perception check. Try to strain them eyes. It is nighttime,
19.
heavy cloud, solid. With a 19, you can just make out in the distance a large shape moving to the west. Or to the east, sorry. So kind of in the same direction that you guys are headed.
Play.
Wave is just kind of like, yo, what the fuck is that? Maurice is just kind of like getting low. What do you guys see?
A
Huh?
large creature.
Well, I know it's a large creature, but what is it? I can't see it.
Probably Howard's mother.
Hey, you shut up there. That's rude as hell.
Then give me my money back.
I didn't even take anything. Your little rat thing caught me. I am not a rat.
Jesus.
And like you see, like there's a spark of light, almost like a blue flame, like crackling like lightning. And Wave is like turning the boat off, and he's just like, "Oh hell no! Starboard, starboard! Turn the sails, turn the sails!" And you see Maurice like running over, and Howard's like down below, like, "I'm gonna stay down here. I'm hiding in the barrel." And Eris is like curled up next to you. What is it? It's huge. And as you guys are pulling away, this large wave comes up and starts to shift the boat. And you hear Wave like, "Hey yo, everybody brace yourselves! We're getting pushed away! Hold on!" And go ahead and make a dexterity save.
17.
So the wave rises, pushes the ship off, and it almost feels like you guys are gonna fall off the boat, and then it like immediately levels out, and the large mist cloud that's kind of masking the ocean right now, it parts, and you see this large black creature rising out of the water. You can't completely make out what it looks like, but it does seem to have like this large, massive rock on its back. And it's raising its head up and opening its mouth, and you see
Lord.
as this large creature is falling from the sky, lands in the water. Yo, everybody hold on! And another wave begins to lift and shift you guys off further. And as water crashes across the top deck of the boat, we cut back to Sweetwater. It's now late, as people are headed home from having worked on the walls in the town itself. Edard, I assumed you had gone back and assisted with the wall for the rest of the day?
No, I
Huh?
spent some with Ona.
Okay.
Because I think by that point in the day, like I've already been at the wall for like 10 hours.
And then, Fen, what did you do for the rest of the day?
Oh, Finner?
Yes, you.
Okay, Jesus. I mean, other than maintaining some of the construction that's going on and helping with that, move debris or whatever needs to be really placed in construction areas. I planned on going to Lord West's.
Is it like a passive sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna probably discuss about the money and just bank stuff.
Yeah, an account's been made for under his name essentially, like a secondary account, but it's supposed to be linked to you guys as soon as they figure out how to get that all situated.
Okay.
So as far as you know, there is a vault dedicated to the initiative group.
And I would have current access to that, correct? Right now?
At the moment, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna pull it all out, and I'm just
Yeah, the
and
banker's
run.
gonna, the banker's gonna be like, you're on crack.
No. After that, just heading back to rest, and if I run into Eddard, I run into Eddard.
You guys can roll a percentile die to determine the chances of that. Eddard, having spent time with Ona and such for the rest of the afternoon, he could be anywhere. So you're, I assume, back at the inn.
I'm in hell.
We're heading
back in your room.
I mean, I would have had to like get myself cleaned up also.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're speaking in the generality that you guys spent the afternoon, doing whatever else. You were with Ona, he was with, the wall. I'm trying to pick up from, like, maybe 8 to 9 p.m. around there. You guys are settling in, maybe having dinner, something like that. But Ona would have said, like, that she wanted to cook dinner for you.
Okay.
So,
Um,
I rolled a 67 on that.
I don't remember if you ever ate her cooking.
huh?
I don't remember Eddard's ever eaten Ona's cooking at all.
I don't think so.
Okay, this would be interesting.
And then if you want to roll a percentile chance that you guys cross paths, I guess. Are you looking for him, Fem?
No, it's just a matter of percentage. Because aren't we at the same end?
I mean, if he rolls under you, then yeah, you might have, like, maybe stopped by. Per chance, and caught him while he was home.
12, I guess.
Yeah, so I mean, like at some point, he saw you in the tavern, coming home. Maybe that's when you were arriving, Fen. Um, you had just freshly showered. You're coming out, going back to your room. Um, yeah, you guys are crossing paths.
He kind of like nods at Eddard. How's everything on your end today?
It was pretty messy at the start, but kind of relaxing now. Edar's just kind of carrying like his gear in like a separate like bag and just has the towel around his waist.
Huh?
Yeah, I have to clean all this
I
up.
guess it'd be about the same. Kind of starts looking around. I know Lafaye's gone. Have you seen Zoe?
No, I figure like if anything, she might be going to see you.
Huh. Strange.
Have you not seen her all day?
No.
I wonder where she could have gone. I'm just kidding.
I wonder as well.
We just stand there thinking, staring off into the
Look.
distance.
Not even staring off in the distance. We just both look at the screen for anybody's watching.
Nodding our head. No, I'm just kidding.
Or probably.
No, I haven't seen her all day, so.
Okay.
Ona's gonna be cooking dinner, I think. Should I be worried?
I could use some Ono's good help. But he tries to think that. Did he have any of Ono's cooking before?
I don't think anybody has. She's usually
I
like
think if
helped.
anything,
She's
it was either
helped
he
people
or
cook.
Zoe.
Yeah, she's helped people cook, but she hasn't actually like. I don't think she's actually made anything in front of you guys.
Huh. He kind of like looks at Eddard. Is that safe?
I don't know. I imagine maybe she's okay with cooking if Zoe might have taught her something. But, yeah, I don't know.
Well, I guess after a little bit of resting, I can come by and eat with you guys.
If I see Zoe, I'll let her know that you're looking for her.
All right. Thank you. And after that, he's going to go to his room.
Eddard's kind of just standing there in the lobby of the tavern.
Some random dude in the background. Get some clothes off.
Never. He kind of just goes over to the tower keeper. It's like, by any chance, do you have safe food?
You went where?
To the tavern keeper.
And you asked if they have safe food.
Yes.
He like looks up at you. Complimentary breakfast in the morning.
Okay.
And from up top, you hear Ona. It's ready.
Oh boy. And he
As,
slowly just starts going up the steps, not sure what the fuck he's in for now.
as you're going into the room to get yourself ready for that, Fen, you return to your room, and sure enough, you see that Zoe's not there. I don't think Zoe left a note or anything.
The only person who would know that Zoe's gone is the guy at the dock.
Yep. And you don't know that. Wild. So yeah.
Wait, so Zoe didn't even leave a letter about going to the caves or anything?
It happens, man.
She hates us.
So Fen, as you're kind of like settling down for the night, right? Um, Ed, you're dressed now. You go to sit down at the table,
Yeah, I go get dressed.
and Ona, she looks really excited, and she goes, the fish is fresh from the market. I went ahead and I got that while you guys were working, and then I got all the green stuff here. And they said this sauce goes very well with it. And you see that it's some sort of like milky white sauce that you can put over the salad, that she put over the salad, and then there's pieces of what looks like salmon sliced up.
How's it smell?
It smells like food. You can make an investigation.
Like food.
But as you start
It
to
was-
investigate, she looks a little insulted.
No, it's just kind of like a quick.
Why are you
sniff.
picking at it like that?
It's a sniff.
It smells good, right?
He kind of like sniffs at it. I rolled a 12.
It smells pretty good.
Okay.
Make sure to get a little bit of everything. So get a little bit of the green.
What's the green?
It's lettuce,
Okay.
and then
That was me asking you, like,
yeah,
what it is I'm
and,
looking.
and then put some tomato. And then
Okay, so it's basically just a salad, right?
yeah,
Okay. Okay, I'll add to one scoop and take a bite.
as you take a bite, you realize
I
that
die.
the fish wasn't cooked thoroughly. It definitely tastes raw. And then what you expected to be like a Caesar dressing or something, it actually turns out to be tartar sauce that she put all over the salad.
Oh no.
And she's just like,
Kind of sitting there chewing it as
And
I look over at her.
little by little, you start to feel like this tingling in your mouth. How's it taste? Mine's really good. And then like you look at her plate, she has the same exact thing, and she's just, mm, the sauce is so good. I don't like the green stuff I put on the salad though.
Would this be worse than any sort of like soldier rations? I'm assuming.
When you like kind of look over like the piece that when you poked at the salad, you didn't realize that she has like little bits and pieces of what looks like wasabi sprinkled in.
Okay, I don't think that would bother me. I'm just wondering like if this is worse than soldier rations.
It just doesn't taste right. It's like an odd combination of whatever she thought would taste good.
It's something.
But she looks really proud of herself. You really think so?
Yeah. Well,
Here, you can have more. And then she takes her own plate and pours it on
oh
yours.
no, you'll
Oh no, I can get more. And then she goes
Oh.
over to the kitchen.
Is there a window nearby?
You can go to the window.
I just kind of spit what I have in my
Are you
mouth.
trying to pull the window open?
Yes.
It doesn't open.
Oh no.
It's one of those like fake windows that looks like it should slide open, but it's really just the design of the frame.
You've been
Just
betrayed.
swallow it. Just swallow it.
That's
I'll just grab my bag of holding.
oh no.
Kind of quickly before she comes back, spit it into there and just kind of
Make a sleight of hand check.
try to scoop as much as I can into the.
Yeah, make a sleight of hand so she doesn't notice it.
Jeez.
It's rude. How dare you do that to Ona?
Wow.
Dirty 20.
Dare you?
How oh, you fucking lucky. She got a nat 1.
Oh.
She like you do this and she turns back with a fresh thing of salmon. This one looks like
In a
it
very
was,
swift moment as she's turning, I just quickly drop the bag back onto the ground and set the plate down.
You're done already?
Yeah, that was so good.
You sure you don't want no more?
No, I can't. Fen, he's gonna want some of that.
I didn't even think of that. I should make him a
Throw
plate.
Finn under the bus.
And she like starts to make a plate of food for Fen.
Yeah, I'm sure Fen, he's gonna love it.
Wonder if that lady from yesterday would love it. She seemed really nice.
Oh no, she probably has plenty to eat right now.
Because she's pregnant?
Maybe.
She made a joke. She said she's eating for two. Get it? Because
I don't kind of laugh
because
at
she has a baby in her tummy. Do you think her
Yeah.
baby would like salmon?
I mean, I don't know if you can really feed the baby salmon.
Yeah, but if
Well,
she's
well,
eating for two,
Yeah. Just not right now, okay?
okay, I'm gonna make a plate for tomorrow. And I'll take it to them. So when I see them, and she like starts to work on a second plate, and like she just sets it on the counter, and grabs the other plate she made for Fen. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Fen, you hear a knock on your door.
The second she walks out, Edard's gonna kind of grab some jerky from his bag, start eating that.
Fenrir is he kind of sits up a bit.
From the other side of the door, you hear her. Hey, Fen, it's Ona. Are you dressed?
Looks itself. Give me a second.
Come
I'm gonna get dressed.
on, I'm excited.
Fenrir opens the door.
She's there and she holds up a plate of food for you.
He kind of stares at it.
Daddy said it was the best food he's ever eaten in his entire life.
Insight check.
Are you gonna make an insight check on her?
Yeah.
I mean, she's obviously lying, but she can't tell she's lying. She's so excited and overwhelmed. She just said whatever's on her head.
I rolled a 15.
Yeah, she looks like a happy kid. She's trying to be as honest as she can.
Okay. I guess I could try it.
And are you gonna eat it in front of her? Because she's standing at the door like this.
Yeah.
And sure enough, you take a bite, and as she instructs you to make sure you have a bite of everything, and it's something. Isn't it great? I'm sure it'll fill you up right up.
It's pretty good. You said Eddard said the best thing he's ever eaten?
The best. His eyes were really, really wide, and he was like really tasting it for a while. He like really chewing it too. And then when I turned around, he finished his whole plate.
Huh.
Are you gonna finish yours too? Should I look away? Does it make you nervous if I look?
No. I was just gonna. I'll finish this, but I was gonna get some rest and lay down for tomorrow. It seems like there's some more work to be done.
Okay. She like gives you a hug. Good night.
He pats her head a little bit.
She like runs out of the room, slams the door behind her.
He closes the door, kind of slowly watching her like go away.
Yeah, she goes back into her own room.
He kind of closes the door all the way, looks at the plate.
She's getting clothes all over the floor. Sorry, guys.
He just kind of stares at the plate for a second. I guess Edward eats shit food.
Damn, straight up said shit food.
By the time Mona gets back into the room also, I'm just kind of trying to cook up a fish thoroughly.
What are you doing?
Oh, I just thought I'd help you make the fish for tomorrow, because the lady.
Make a persuasion check.
Natural 20 for a 28.
She looks at you for a long moment. That's such a good idea. The lady will really like it if you cooked it. Maybe she likes you.
I don't know. I think she has a husband.
She does?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
We gotta find you somebody. That's gonna be my job tomorrow. Find Daddy a girlfriend.
That's not really necessary at all.
A boyfriend?
What?
A boyfriend?
No.
Just a friend?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Here, let me just show you how Daddy makes fish. Okay.
Oh, I forgot. And she runs out of the room. Fen, make a perception check. Fen, you have been called to make a perception check. ¿Qué pasó? Fenrir? Fenrir!
Hey, fun.
It seems that Owen is killing, or cooking has killed him.
The fish.
Bum, bum, bum.
It was the fish.
Oh God, man.
Sorry about that.
Fish are friends, not food. Fish fought back.
Give us a second.
That'd be insane.
What's up?
Make a perception check.
Give me a second. I'll have to go back into the room now. You said perception?
Yeah.
Alright, give me. Okay. Jesus. My dude. Oh, there it is. Go ahead. A 23.
So while you're chilling in your room, you hear a, and when you kind of glance over, you see across the room, right under the door, that there's a wrapped peppermint candy being pushed under the door, and then you see Ona's finger retract back, and then she's right back in her room. Okay, good, I did it.
What did you do?
I had to make sure he had a mint.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because after you eat, you
Yeah,
know,
it freshens the breath.
freshens your breath. It does.
Yeah.
It really works. And then she hops up on her bed. I'm ready to go to sleep.
Oh. Okay. Well,
Kind of in his own way, reluctantly, Fenrir's going to actually finish the salad.
Who puts salad with fish?
Did you just say who puts a salad in a fish?
I said with fish.
Actually,
Put salad with
That's
fish.
a really good meal.
That's a
I
staple.
don't know.
No, that sounds nasty.
I don't know about tartar sauce on a salad though.
No tartar sauce. But,
Bro, tartar sauce and salads are so good. What the fuck?
I think that's what ruins this whole thing is the tartar sauce on the
tartar
salad.
sauce.
Yeah.
Bro, I would just eat the tartar
And
sauce
then the little balls of wasabi that she sprinkled on it.
Oh,
No,
dude, that
the
sounds
little
delicious.
wasabi would have been perfectly fine for me.
Ugh.
I like my salmon as a teriyaki bowl with a really good salad and wasabi flakes.
I don't know. It was just Ona trying, and it is undercooked,
that's
by the
what-
way. So if you are eating it as is, there might be some side effects.
Were there any
He's eaten raw meat before.
Yeah.
bones in it or something?
He is a dog. I mean, what do you expect?
Like
I
beast
haven't decided if there will be.
God damn it.
It was really undercooked.
But he's eaten raw meat before, Effie.
This is magical raw meat. This is Effie's raw meat.
Bernard will just kind of as Ona's going to sleep, he's just going to kind of continue trying to make the fish and season it up with other stuff that Ona did not use on fish.
Ona's just like kind of chilling, listening to you cook. And then she goes, I really hope everybody's okay. Lafaye, and now we don't even know where Zoe is.
Yeah, Fan was asking about her. Did you not see her this morning or anything?
I don't think she saw you that previous session, right? Kind of just up and
Ona?
left. Huh?
I was Edward talking to Ona.
Yeah, I was asking Zoe because I don't think they crossed
Oh,
each other the day before.
Yeah. No, nobody saw Zoe the other day.
Yeah, so even Ona's just kind of like, I'm not sure where she would have gone actually. I would have thought she'd stay in the town. Maybe she went back to the Grove or something.
Maybe.
See, I could have been a ninja this whole time.
So are we gonna like stay in town for a little while, help everybody get back together?
Not sure yet because I do want to try to see if we can intercept Queenie and the wolves eventually.
Oh, I almost forgot about them.
I'm pretty sure from like the direction we were told they were heading, they're probably heading back to the town.
Kind of want to go now.
You want to go now?
Yeah. They're out there by themselves. It's up to us.
That's true.
Lafaye's with acquisitions. Zoe has Eris, and let's be honest, she is pretty strong on her own. And then we can just use the portals and come back here as soon as we get them, and Fenrir won't even notice that we're gone. Maybe we should sneak Hugh out of jail.
I don't know about that one.
I was joking. But am I?
Are you?
No, I really want Hugh back. I know he was a pain in the ass, and a lot of you just, didn't like some of the things he had to say or do. But he was kind of funny to me. And he's an initiative member. Should we care a little bit?
Yeah, we should care, but there's limits to what we can do right now.
Maybe you can talk to your brother and work something out. He can't just be willing to leave it up to a bunch of people who don't even know Hugh.
I'll see what I can do, okay?
So we're gonna go find Queenie and the others?
Yeah, we'll go do that right now. That fish looks done. Kind of stares at the pan. I'm just gonna throw that away.
Yeah, we'll be back in the morning. And she hops off the bed and starts packing her bag.
After finishing the plate, the Fenrir's going to return it to Edward.
So you knocking on the door?
Yeah.
Knocking on the door. Ona answers, and she's all like, "Oh, hey, Fen. I thought you were going to bed."
I found your mint you left me, and I wanted to return the dishes.
She takes the plate.
Was it good?
It was pretty okay. I liked it.
Awesome.
Edward kind of peeks his head around the corner at Fen, just having him telling with this look as if playing along, it was the best thing ever, right?
Fenrir almost zombified. Look at him. Yeah.
You guys are the best. I think I should become a cook someday. And then
Yeah. Just keep practicing.
then she jumps up on the bed and falls off the other side. Oh, I'm okay. And continues to work on something out of sight.
Do I see that their packs packed up from here?
No. Whatever she's doing from the opposite side of the bed.
Um, there's another thing that's been bothering me.
Oh, what was that? Sorry.
Fenrir's like standing there a bit. There's another thing that's been bothering me. Our
What's that?
pets went north of the kingdom. Isn't that towards the Deadlands?
No, they're still further back than that. Most likely they're heading back to the town, trying to see if I can intercept them.
Wait, when?
Oda pops up with her bag. Right now! We have a thirst for adventure, Fenrir.
He kind of like looks at her.
She walks up to you with her bag, looks you over. You should probably stay here in case Zoe comes back, and the people at the wall are gonna need you. And then she just walks away from both of you, heading down the stairs. Come, father.
I was just kind of standing there watching her as she's walking away. Okay.
Fenrir kind of pulls out that ring, the initiative ring, and he looks at it. How are we supposed to know if somebody's in danger with these things?
Edward kind of holds out his, he has it on, but I still haven't taken the time to figure out how this thing works at all.
Did they say something?
No, nobody said anything.
Okay, I thought I missed something there for a second.
I can figure it out on the go.
All right.
Yes,
Well, she does make a point. If I stay in town and Zoe reappears somewhere, I'd probably be better off helping whoever here needs it.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll find out figure out a way to see how this ring works. If you guys do end up getting in trouble, just I guess use the ring.
Yeah. Same thing with you. If something happens here, just try to figure out the ring also. I don't know. They didn't really give us an instruction manual with this thing.
No, but that's what he said. We can teleport to the initiative base, a place we call home, and each other. So, just gotta figure out the each other part, because he said something about knowing if the other ones are in danger. Maybe it glows?
Maybe. Do you feel like you're dying or anything from the food? Maybe it'll start glowing if we're dying.
Oh, no. I've eaten raw food before. It wasn't that bad.
There's this random guy who's trying to get to his room, and he pushes past you, Fenrir, and he's like, "Oh hey, I'm just a random guy walking by, kind of drunk, and I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. And I would say that maybe if you just press and hold your finger on it, it'll do something. Bye." And he just walks.
Insight check.
Get out of here,
He rolled an 11 on an insight.
He's just some random dude, man.
Just some random dude.
I'm just
And he's
some random
like,
guy. Bye.
Bye.
Fenrir just kind of stares, and then he looks at Eddard.
What sorcery?
He goes to press down the. Yeah. He goes to press the ring down.
I'm pretty sure we had instructions on the ring, right?
I have.
I don't remember.
I know you sent me a very specific way that it was supposed to be used, but I don't think
Yeah,
that was written.
so the idea is that like with the one tap, it'll take you back to a place of origin, like to your to like the home that you choose, right?
Yeah.
With a double tap, it should take you straight to the initiative, and then if you press and hold it, it'll call the rest of the initiative group to you. So if it's
No!
like let's say Zoe pressed and hold it on her ring, it would signal to all of you. It would glow maybe like a blue color, seeing as that's more of the acquisitions colors, rather than choosing the initiative colors, which are like orange and reds. But it'll glow blue, and then you guys, when you tap it, you'll teleport to that other initiative member.
Huh.
FYI, this was confiscated from Hugh when he was taken in.
Of course it was.
What do you mean? I swallowed it. It is now in my belly hole.
It is not canon, so therefore no, you did not swallow it.
He's got
I
it.
would like to swallow.
He just pokes his belly button.
We are getting to the incubus scene.
No.
Oh, lovely.
I'm kidding.
I have to go.
I'm kidding.
Have a nice time with you guys.
I'm kidding.
He's gonna kind of just grab his bag and just kind of on the way as he's closing the door, just kind of putting his armor on again.
Okay. And like you go to head out. Fen, did you already head to your room?
Yeah, kind of like looking at Edward real fast. Be safe, okay?
Likewise. Yeah. Just kind of standing there at the stairway. This group keeps splitting up, don't they?
Yeah, we gotta stop that.
We'll figure it out.
The
Good night.
random
Start
guy
going down the stairs.
walks out of his room and he's like standing
Trip
on the
him and
rail.
push him down the stairs.
And he looks over at you guys. I'm just a random guy walking by, and I couldn't help but overhear that you guys have issues with your friends, and you gotta know when to let
3
them go.
Eldritch Blast.
Fender picks him up and rips him in half.
God damn, he's just trying to exist. He's a drunk. Leave him alone.
Fucking with you, Jesus.
Like, God, this dude's gonna rip him in half. I'm like, God damn. He's just a random dude trying to give you life advice. Bye.
Get out of here, metal man.
Kind of like looking
What?
at one last time. If you go to find Crag, turkey jerky.
Wait, turkey jerky, and what was before that?
If you're going to find Crag, turkey jerky.
I'll keep that.
And I believe Bullet, if I recall from Zoe, liked quail or quail eggs or something.
Okay, I'm fine. None.
But window liquor, good luck.
So, as Eddard, you head out. You meet with Ona at the entrance to the tavern. She's like all excited. She waves at you, Fenrir, and then she turns and like heads out with you.
We're probably going to have to find some turkey jerky and some quail.
And Fen, as you're kind of turning to head back to your room, right?
Yeah.
Your natural perception is exceptional, right? So,
It varies.
as you're headed towards the room, you notice that there is a woman seated kind of like in the guest area. She's wearing all white, no sleeves, and she has like this V-cut going down the front, and it even has a split along her left thigh. And she's kind of like sitting back with her legs crossed, and you recognize her as one of the women that was at the Council of the Gods.
He stares a bit.
Her visage or her appearance is close to Gal Gadot's. So if I had to describe her, she looks like Gal Gadot. Or Wonder Woman, if you know her as
Okay,
Wonder Woman.
thank you. Which one?
Which one?
97! Or whatever the fucking year was for...
Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, there you go. That Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Bad movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not
Finner
gonna
kinda
talk about
stares
that
at-
movie.
No, but she's beautiful though.
He's gonna walk up, kind of like just keeping his eyes on her. You're from.
She like shifts and looks up at you. Yes, I know. You can sit if you'd like, or you can just stand there.
Menacingly.
He sits down. What's your kind doing down here?
Oh, we've been very active down here for the last few months. And she like grabs a glass for you and she pours you a drink. I hope you like wine. I'm sure you've noticed a few of us have been walking around, correct?
You're the first I've currently noticed. I've been mainly working to rebuild this place.
You're worried about your friend.
Yeah.
He worries about all of you as well. So much so, he's the reason I walk amongst you all now. At least, for the time being.
By friends, you're referring to Hugh, or you're referring to Edward?
She like rolls her eyes, and as soon as you say Hugh, that's a whole other case I did not want to handle. I sprinkled him a little something, and hopefully that'll keep him safe in the meantime.
Well, thank you for that. He's a friend of mine, and well, other than the rest of this group here, I only have so many.
I favor your group. For some time I've watched all of you. Very similar to the champions of old. The world needs heroes like you all. She like leans back, smiles at you, and she's just like, big heroes at that.
He raises a brow.
Is the missus not home tonight?
I don't know where she is right now.
Then it's okay if we just sit and talk, right?
I don't see anything wrong with that.
She raises her glass. To the disbanded initiative. Living on forever.
So he's cheating radar is going off the charts right now.
While being attacked by whatever it is. God damn it!
Eris is the first one to say it. I feel a disturbance in the fort.
Finner looks at the wine. Does it look odd?
At the wine?
Yeah.
It looks pretty regular. It's like a white
He
wine.
goes, as he's going to drink, to take a sip of it, you wouldn't drug me, would you?
It sounds like child's play. No, beneath me. I have nothing but respect for you. And should we enjoy the evening, I'd prefer if we both enjoyed it consensually.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tell me a good story then.
A good
I'd
story.
like to hear about how you save sweet water with your friends.
Well,
And like from there, like you don't have to recount a whole story, okay?
yeah. He starts off from when he left out of the cavern to chase after the giant one.
Yeah, there you go. And like from there, you guys genuinely like she just spends the afternoon with you, or the evening, I should say. Edard and Ona setting off. I imagine you've opened a portal. After
Yeah.
Ona asks, like, so where do we start?
Probably southern edge of town, and then make our way down.
We're gonna see home for a second.
We'll see what the conditions it's in right now. That'll determine if we stick around.
Okay. So exciting. Smell of night.
Quick question: should we probably get Riza, Jesse, and Sandy back home?
Up to you.
No, that's him talking to Ona. Like, if he thinks that they should just go grab them real quick.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think.
even the night knockers if they want to come home.
Yeah, let's make our way over to the farm real quick.
And Ona does remind you that the night knockers are actually staying in the town.
Oh, they're in the town?
Yeah, they found a place near the western wall to stay at. Upon visiting them, a good portion of them are kind of like, yeah, kind of miss home. But the general consensus is that they're staying in Sweetwater for a while longer. They want to keep helping with the repairs.
Okay, sounds good.
And then further journeying over to the Zulu farm. Boom passed out on the lawn in front of the houses. Hector and
Even
Asher.
Sam, right?
Huh?
Sam also?
With the night knockers in town, yeah. Hector and Asher, when you get there, they're outside and they have a fire going with Jesse and Sandy there. And the Zulu kids inside of the house already asleep. When they see you, Asher's just like, motherfuck, you're alive.
Yeah.
And I thought they took your head off in the Capitol.
Not yet, at least. So. Where's Jesse and Sandy?
They were also sitting outside, kind of huddled
Oh,
together.
I think I missed that, sorry.
And Jesse's just like, you got something to tell me?
Uh-uh.
Where's the pod? Ona just goes,
Yeah, the monster destroyed it.
he like walks off. And Sandy's just standing there looking at you. Do you know how long it took him to put that together? I'm pissed off for him.
Oh god, you're one of those. Where's Riza?
Hector's like, she was inside last I checked. You want me to go get her?
Yeah, I think it's about time I get them all home.
And he goes inside the house. And Jesse, after like kind of calming down,
I still got this if it helps, and I'll pull out the charging crystal that I had.
I mean, it's a start. We're gonna have to get the metals again. All the parts. It's gonna take a long time again. Damn.
I would recommend probably being a little bit more secretive of this if you're gonna do it.
What? Why?
Gonna be some changes at the town.
Artificer magic is becoming more and more common every day. I can't practice my craft.
Well, I'll have to wait and see what happens.
Sandy kind of like consoles him, and he's looks stressed out. But they go inside to get their things, and soon Riza comes out with them, and she sees you, and she goes, "It's already been too long."
It's been one day.
It's too long.
Fuck me. Okay, you kids ready to go
Ona's
home?
like next to you like this. Are they all this emotional? Am I gonna be that emotional?
How old are you again?
9.
You still got a few years. You're fine.
And as you kind of gather the group together, Hector, looks you guys over. He's like, "Hey, I just really can't thank you guys enough. Anytime you need a place to stay, the Zulu farm is open to you."
Well, keep that in mind.
With the others know too.
I have to find them first and start opening up portals.
Find them first.
Oh,
Sandy and Jesse go through.
normal thing. Splitting the party always happens.
I hate it, says Ona. I keep trying to tell them to stop doing it, but they keep just doing it. And
I'm just like,
Dad, you just gotta.
see ya.
She insinuated this time that the party got split. I was gonna be like, Fenrir can go with you guys, but no, she was like, no, Fenrir needs to stay.
Stay, Fen. Stay. Where she knows you are, and you'll be safe.
Father-daughter trip, baby.
Where she knows you're gonna be, and you'll be safe. Stay. um, coming
Fenrir
through,
wanders off.
you can make out the details of Lawanda's old home, kind of sitting there silently, no activity, it's just quiet. The
And it's
crickets-
dark out, right?
Yeah, crickets chirping in the night, nothing too busy or anything. Ona's just kind of. It's so nice to be home.
Noticing anything different?
No.
Nothing along the walls of the town or anything?
You can't really see too much of the details of the main town from here. Again, it's like, a couple feet away from, a couple minutes away from the walls.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see like the exterior of it, and there's like people kind of moving along the top of the wall, keeping guard. But you have to get much closer to see anything else.
All right, let's get you guys back to your dorm rooms, and we'll start making our way south.
So you walk toward the town.
Yeah.
The guards obviously they see you guys coming, they stop you, and once they figure out who you are, they wave you in. Going through the town, it's it's dark out, it's night. There's not a lot of busy stuff going on. The fields look like they've been worked on pretty well, and not too much has changed.
Not yet.
Not yet. You guys progress all the way up to the school. Jesse complaining.
Kato went straight here after the trial, right?
Yeah. Jesse complains the whole time about the pod and having to rebuild it. Sandy consoling him. Riza splits off from you guys, going home eventually, saying to let her know as soon as you hear from her. If she doesn't hear from her, I need to know that she's okay.
Eric's just kind of standing there staring and just nods his head.
I thought I could do this. I just miss her so much.
Just go to sleep.
I'm sure Mom will be happy to see me. And she walks off. And Jesse's just
Oh.
I hate you.
He just lets out a loud, or not alongside, just as he walks away.
Yeah, as you get the rest of the kiddos and head back towards the outer fences of the initiative's school, nobody comes out to greet you. It's late enough where maybe there's a couple of people outside, but nobody pays any attention. You let them in, and Ona's just like, should we say hi to Kato?
We'll have to make it quick.
And sure enough, you guys go in, and again, the hallways are quiet. Most students are asleep, and any stragglers might be hanging out in the kitchen trying to find snacks and stuff. Kato, when you guys find him, he's in his bedroom. Brian, being the one to answer the door, is just like, oh, who the hell just put me down? As Ona picks up Brian and hugs him. What the hell? You can't just grab people like that. But let me get a hug. Good to see you, kid. Oh my God, Edward, you beautiful man.
Hey, kneel down.
You didn't end up in jail.
Not yet.
And Kato, putting on a robe, comes out. Edward, oh, it's good to see you.
Just came to stop by, say hi, and before we head out to search for Queenie and the wolves.
You do realize this is your home. You don't have to just stop by. You can literally stay the night. Where have you guys been? I would have thought you'd come right back to the initiative.
Helping out Sweetwater a little bit. Although most of the party's kind of split up right now.
So far as I know, Bloodscream is supposed to be here in about another 20, 30 days. At least by the end of the month.
Okay, so there's still time to hide some stuff that we don't want him to find out.
Took care of some of the items that we already had here. But when he enters the walls, and who knows how he wants to run things, making sure that everybody is mentally ready for that. They said the school's supposed to stay the same, but I don't know.
I would say keep an eye on Jesse to make sure he doesn't do anything too out there.
What happened to the pod?
That's gone.
Oh boy, that was expensive.
Yeah.
I bet he's really sad about that.
Yeah. Especially Sadie. Sad for him.
You mean Sandy?
I said what I said.
Oh, wow. You got beef with kids now, huh?
A little bit.
Yeah, I've had my fair share of brats.
Yeah, we should probably get going here, though.
Where are you guys going? You need an extra hammer? Okay, it's just like, I thought we were going to go to bed. We have all this stuff to do tomorrow. Brian's just looking back at Kato in the
a
back.
little help wouldn't hurt, but...
You heard the man! You need reinforcements!
But I mean,
The Dungeon Initiative calls for my favors
Kato
again!
might need... Okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead and get my own armor! And Kato's just standing there looking at you like... Edward, can't we save these interactions for 10 in the morning rather than 10 at night?
Oh, no, I wanted to say hi. Also, I was meaning to ask earlier, you can help Brian get their stuff together?
Ona just runs in.
What's with the markings?
Markings?
On your neck.
Maybe we can talk about that later.
I think we have some time. You look kind of roughed up when you got there the other day.
Just been a little stressed out, I guess. Like, he shows you, and they're not like symbols or anything, they're just like veins going up the side of his neck. I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Does it seem like magic in any way?
I can't really tell if it's magic. It might just be something that I caught.
Can I check if anything?
Sure, make a medicine check.
I don't know what I can really... What should I roll?
Medicine check.
Let's see how that goes.
I want a history of everything he's ever had, every illness, all future illnesses. That's a natural 20.
Okay. As far as you can tell, it does look like some sort of almost like he's got like an irritation going on, like on the skin surface. It looks red and irritated and inflamed. The veins look like they might just be like pulsing, kind of. And you can't tell exactly what kind of disease it might be or anything, but it's definitely connected to where his ear is at. So you think it might be some sort of ear infection, like a severe ear infection.
You should definitely get that checked out, Kato.
Had some people looking at it already. Might have to go see a special doctor soon. They were talking about a school off coast. Maybe they could send me there. But I haven't heard back about that in a while.
Might be better if they send someone here for you, because I don't think you should do any traveling for now.
Try to get more sleep lately. Goblin comes back wearing their plated armor and their hammer. Alright, I'm ready to go fuck shit up. Let me get a kiss. And Kato leans down. Don't go and do anything stupid, okay? I'll be back before you know it. So they kiss each other. Alright. Slaps Kato's butt. Looks at you. Where are we going?
South. Yeah, before I go, I'm just gonna kind of check the ear again one more time and casting Lay on Hands.
Which, if I'm not mistaken,
It cures disease and neutralizes any poisons.
you do see it kind of started to like take some sort of effect for him, and he's just kind of like, oh, it actually doesn't feel so painful now. Thank you, Leonard. Maybe you visited randomly at night to take my husband from me and heal my affliction. I'm going back to bed, okay?
Yeah. Also, I used 5 charges on it, so it's the whole charge pool there.
Wow.
I'm not sure if that does anything.
I mean, definitely cured him with what was going on.
Okay.
Jesus.
Definitely still get that checked out.
He like just kind of goes back, closes
Go
the
down
door
the
behind him.
stairs. Okay, now let's get going here.
All right. The whole time you guys are walking, and you guys continue off and out of the town and head south. The following morning, in the capital, it's a beautiful new morning.
Ice.
So, Hugh, you hear as the cell block door opens and the jingle of keys follows up with the footsteps of the young woman named Ella, who's returning with a plate of breakfast, and she's smiling at you, and she's like got an even bigger grin on her face as she like approaches your bars, and she like slips you the plate between them. I heard about what
Thank
you
you.
did. Why did you request me? Seems kind of random.
So what do you say? Happy for me when your phone died.
She said, why did you request for me to work with you?
I think you're nice. I like you.
I mean, I only brought you food. But
It's fine with me.
they said that I don't really need a guard anymore. It's right outside though, but she like grabs a stool, slides it over, sits down. Oh, I hope you enjoy. I think it's just some like eggs and some toast.
I like some.
How are you feeling?
Not too bad. Definitely could be better if I was out of the cell.
I noticed that you might have had some visitors, but they didn't look very happy when they left.
No, let's just say they threw some hands.
You had to fight them?
You could say that.
I'm sorry
I
you
was
had to
fighting
do
for
that.
my life. So, Effie, how do I look? Do I look drained? Do I look like I have bruises on me?
So, a quick flashback. A pair of girls came in with Jada, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they basically tried to cast their spells and stuff, play with your head, and
Mm-hmm.
some of it worked, and then other things didn't. And then when they tried to have their way, they couldn't. And
Throwing
they tried-
hands, baby. I'm throwing
and
hands.
They tried really, really hard. So you're just sitting there like this, you know?
Yeah.
And they're just like, come on! Come on! And they like smacked you a couple of times before they decided to give up and walk out. Jada like was just looking at you. She goes, "You're embarrassing me in front of my friends." And they like just
Good.
leave. And then just quick cut back to, Ella there with you.
Yeah, I'd throw some hands.
Well, they didn't look like they were bruised or anything, so whatever happened, I'm just glad you're okay. I really don't like them. Oh, I really shouldn't say that out loud, should I? Get a lot of trouble
No,
for that.
it's fine. I don't like them either.
I do feel like I can at least open up a little bit to you. Godfrey said that he might have some good news today.
If it's regarding what we talked about last time, I think it might be something along the lines of I look around, make sure the guard's not listening, me working for him.
There is a rumor, and he was telling me that you requested that I basically help you.
Yeah, I I don't feel like I can trust anybody in the capital, but you seem like a someone I could trust.
I mostly keep to myself. I don't bother anybody. I have very few friends here, and I know a lot of things, and
So you hear a lot of things then.
yeah.
Hmm. This could be proven useful for us.
You're not gonna like use me, are you?
No, no, no. But I'm saying that if you hear something and you let me know, especially if it's to do with those women.
Yeah, they don't seem right. But
Mm.
I hope that the news does come soon, and maybe you'll be out of this cell walking around, and maybe we can sit across from each other at a table and enjoy a meal together.
That'd be nice.
I can
That'd be
introduce
very
you to
nice.
my few friends.
Ooh. I'd like to show you to my friends, except I don't know where they are.
I'd love to meet the initiative.
Yeah, they somewhere. I don't know.
Are you scared?
No, I've been in worse situations.
Are you worried about them?
Not really, to be honest. I know they can handle themselves as a group. Individually, though, I don't know. I think they might fall apart if they're away from each other. But
Well,
I think they'll be okay.
what's what's your dream? Like, I guess aside from fighting monsters and being a hero, and I don't think that being in a jail cell is part of the big picture, right?
No, definitely not big picture. But one of these days, I'd like to just settle down with somebody, just live life. Not have to worry about fighting and helping, I guess you would say. Just focusing on me.
I guess that would be nice. Well, are you about done there?
Yeah, as I've already gobbled up all the food as we were talking.
She like reaches between the bars to take the plate from you.
I handed to her. Thank you.
She smiles, bows her head a little bit, and then goes to leave. And as she's on her way out, you hear her like kind of like speaking to someone, and she says, "Good morning, Your Grace." "Good morning, Ella." And sure enough, you hear the heavy footsteps of the guard following in after Godfrey and taking his spot by the door. And Godfrey looks you over. "I assume that you got some of the good news?"
You could say that.
"In just a couple of hours, I'm going to be meeting with some people. And from there forward, we'll know exactly what to do from here.
Okay.
I managed to figure out a way to at least get you comfortable. And then from there, if we can't find any more proof, I might be able to dismiss you and have you work under my charge."
That'd be nice to get out of this wet jail cell.
There are a lot of people against you. So, I do have to pull strings and probably make a couple more enemies to get you to where I want you to be. Where you want
I
to be.
mean, I could just kill said enemies.
You can't just kill everyone.
Not everybody, just the enemies. Because then it'd be treason against the king.
I'll let you know.
Sounds good to me.
He puts a hand between the bars to shake yours.
I will shake it with no ill intent.
He
The genuine, just normal handshake.
yeah, he returns a firm shake with you, and he says, a few hours. All right.
All right.
And he heads out, and the doors close. And from there, we're gonna cut back over to the morning of, on the little pirate island that Lafaye has found herself on. Lafaye!
Mm-hmm.
So, a majority of the night you spend with Omen and Jim, looking around, trying to find more clues, information, but most of the drunkards and stuff that you did encounter didn't really want to talk to you guys, recognize you, or get very far. At this point, you guys are kind of crossing in the middle of the town, and Jim's just like, oh man, day one, and I already feel like we're fucked. Jim needs to sleep. And Omen's just like, I'm not ready to sleep until we get something to work on. And Jim says, see it yourself. I'm going back to the boat. And he kind of starts to walk off. Owen looks at you, and he says, come on, Lafaye, think, really dig in there, back of your mind kind of stuff, okay? The bounty, the bar, the town, the people around you. Something's got to spark. Something's got to drive your memory. And go ahead and make a history check here.
Oh, what?
History check.
Gotcha.
It's blowing right at the mic.
22.
So you're in your mind, you're really considering and thinking, and then there's a cart that rolls by with a bunch of stuff on top of it, and as it rolls by, the wheel makes a and as that noise and that sounds pass by you, you get a recollection of stalking someone similar to the man on the poster. And the person in this memory, you realize that you follow them, kind of heading to the west of the island. And then go ahead and make a perception check as well.
$14.
So with a 14, you're going through your mind, and you're looking around, kind of recollecting this memory, and you catch sight of that really large, abnormal-looking guy standing by the bar watching you again. How to
I'm
watch?
gonna think. She's gonna look at Omen. I do remember
All right.
something.
Okay. Hold on to it. Where did they go? Where did you go? What do you remember about this moment?
Somewhere in the west.
All right, let's go that way. Let's go. You got a 22, right, with your perception?
Yeah.
All right. So as you
Wait.
guys kind of like move off in that direction, you realize that you're basically passing in the same way where you had followed that girl the day before. But you also notice that the abnormal giant-looking guy, he kind of like takes half steps, kind of following you guys from a distance, and he's not exactly hiding.
She's gonna get closer to Omen and like whisper. Didn't look back, but we're being followed.
All right. Well, when we get to the end of this alley here, I'm gonna dip right, and you make a left, okay? And then you do your fancy little footwork. We'll figure out who this guy is that's following us. And sure enough, he makes his right turn, and you make your left. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
24.
So yeah, you kind of take some cover under like a couple of it's kind of like a stand that was just sitting there, but it's not being used for anything. And you kind of dip inside of it and wait. And as the giant guy like peeks around the corner, he like turns right to kind of head towards where he saw Omen go. And what do you do?
She's going to kind of like sweep the leg.
I guess make it a sneak attack.
That's sneak attack. So that's 2 dexterities, I think. I don't remember.
What is it?
No, I was saying 2 dexterities. Because she's sneaking.
So and then make it with advantage because you're hidden from them.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh, 22.
Alright, so with 22, you see him turn, you get up behind him, you knock his legs out from under him, and he hits the ground on his knees, and immediately he holds up his hands, and he kind of speaks in gibberish, and every once in a while will let out a word, peace, peace, please.
She's just gonna like, kind of like look at him. Why are you following me?
More gibberish. Good killer. Gibberish. Respect. And Omen kind of comes from around the corner, and he looks the guy over, and he says, "Where are you from, buddy?" And he says, "Archamadonian. Far land." He points right at you, Lafaye, and he goes, "Good, strong, fight, log." Do you know this guy, Lafaye? And you don't really have a recollection of him as to being familiar. You can try to like search in your memory. Go ahead and make a like history check if you'd like to try to think back.
She has no idea. It's an 8.
Yeah, you have no idea who this guy is.
She's like, I don't know him.
He starts to kind of think like, damn, I wish I had something to help here. Do you have like a comprehend language or something? I don't think you have that
Thieves
spell, do you?
can't. Well, she has like thieves can't and stuff.
No, that's a specific language.
No, none of that.
But the large man, he like looks to you and he says, "Strong, very strong log." Huh? Elman's just like, this is a waste of time, and he like pushes past. He's like, we got to figure out where you were going. Like, you had an idea, you had a memory or something. And the guy is like kind of looking up at you, and he puts a hand on your shoulder, and he says, "Kill, blood scream, warrior."
I like looks at Elman and she's like, what if he's giving us clues or ideas? Maybe that could help block something.
We're not gonna
Our
get very far
memories.
without Jim. Maybe Jim has a spell that he can use to help us out. So we'll bring him back with us, and maybe Jim can help. Um, as he kind of gets up, he smiles. Friend. Uh,
Yeah, friend.
and again, like you notice that like his right arm is like massive, and then his left arm is muscular, but it's a lot skinnier than his right. And then his body kind of has like a tilt when he stands upright. His waist especially is like what catches your attention because you can tell past all the furs and clothing that he has on, but it's very skinny. He has a very skinny waistline, and then like the top of his body extends into this muscular build. Very very odd, deformed looking individual. But he says, "Friend, now."
Yes, friend now.
Make a perception check.
16.
With a 16, you noticed Omen was like kind of walking off along the side of the town, but to his right, you can see that there's that river that you came across the day before, and you see the young girl carrying what looks like a large jug of milk along the coastline.
He goes to Elman. I've seen her before. Yesterday. She.
Like a memory?
Yesterday, I'd never seen her before, but I do remember following her. She was being suspicious, and I did come across this area.
The bald guy, did he come across here? And like when he says this, you're looking at the river and kind of recollecting more of that memory. You remember the guy being out there on his own, standing there. He just like started to like pee into the river, and the last thing you see of him is he zips up, turns, and then your blade like whisks out and you kill him. Omen's looking at you like,
Yeah, he was here.
maybe that girl knows something. It's coincident. And the big guy that's next to you now, he points at the river. You kill Blood Scream. What do you mean? What does he mean? You killed the Blood Scream? That guy wasn't a Blood Scream.
I'm like think of what to say. Sorry. She just
Omen like shrugs and just like heads down toward the river. The big guy behind you just like smiling at you encouragingly. But Omen like goes down toward the river and you hear him shout, "You there, little girl!" And you see her like turn with a jug of milk, and then she just starts splashing in the water towards her boat.
she she goes towards the boat.
Yeah, the girl's running towards the boat right now, carrying her milk. Omen's kind of chasing, maybe like 15 feet away from her, slowly gaining.
She's gonna use the trickster belt, kind of like teleport like right in front of her.
Okay. When you do, it's like the 5 foot square in front of her. She's like stops as she sees you appear in front of her face. She looks back. How did you do that? Omen like stops like 10 feet behind her. You can't be running like that. I'm getting too old. And like the large guy's like across the river. Like, shouting something at you. Again, he's speaking gibberish, so you can't understand exactly what he's saying. At least not gibberish. It's probably a whole different language that you don't know about.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
She looks up. Magic. She does not want to tell her because she's afraid that she might like get robbed.
Well, I know a little magic too, and I don't like that you're stopping me from getting to my boat. Would you mind moving?
Well, yeah, but I do have a question. Right after you answer it, truthfully, then I'll let you go.
No, I don't like questions. And then you see her evaporate into mist, and then reappear behind you on her boat. I prefer just to move along.
Lafay's gonna teleport to the boat, and she's gonna slash the boat so that the boat's sinking.
So you re-teleport onto the boat and you stab the deck of the boat.
Yeah.
Make an attack with your weapon.
11.
You don't really do much. You like stab into the wood of the boat, and as you go to look up at her, she's like holding her milk, and then she just smiles, and you realize that you're surrounded by a bunch of cats.
Of course.
And there's like maybe like 50 plus cats on the deck of this boat.
Oh, jeez.
Your allergies kick in immediately.
Crazy cat pirate lady.
Look, I do not want to fight you.
Crazy cat pirate girl. Just so you guys know, Nova designed this character with me. She's only 7.
Oh.
It's a 7-year-old child.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
she just like gives.
Really?
she's like, "You feel like you have the advantage now?" And she puts down her jug of milk and leans against it.
I just want to ask if you remember man, bald headed.
I mean, it's a whole town of weirdos who come from around the world. It's bound to be somebody.
Yeah, but I mean, did you see?
Make a perception check.
16?
Um, you notice that some of the cats are like walking along the edge of the boat, and you see some of the ropes like going up the mast like start to unfurl and undo themselves, and then the sail like drops open and it starts to kind of kick forward along the river. And on the land, you hear Omen say, "Hey, Lafaye, you seem to be moving away, Lafaye." And he like starts to chase after it. The big guy on the opposite side of the river, he's just like, "We're going." And the girl on the deck says, like she like hops up on a box, takes out her rapier and points it at your neck, and she says, "Ha ha ha! You've fallen into my trap. I'm Captain Casey of the Cat Citrus Pirates, and you're screwed now. Give us all your gold." And all the cats in unison, meow.
Scratch that. Not cute, scary.
Guess you really don't know who I am, huh?
She's turning a 7-year-old child.
See,
Like with the blade like pointed at your neck. You obviously don't know who I am.
I mean, surely you must know that there was a tall, bald man that did get killed here.
A lot of people die every day in this town. The boat pulling further and further away from Omen.
Little girl, steer it back.
The wheel of the boat you notice is turning on its own, and there's like a cat standing like right next to the wheel.
Uh, can I try and like destroy the wheel with the scale piercer?
She's a kitty mancer.
I guess you can attempt to
And I can try.
make a dexterity save.
$15.
Uh, so earlier you noticed like the ship kind of coming to life, right? But what you didn't
Yeah.
notice is that around your ankles, the cats were like dragging some rope across it, and they started to tie you down. And
Slash with the rope.
Casey starts to kind of giggle. Looks like you're gonna get stuck here.
Oh, really? And then she's gonna use the trickster belt and then go back to shore.
And she watches as you you get further and further away. She's on the boat, and she goes, "Oh darn! Well, bye." And just the boat just sails up the river. You hear Omen running up behind you. You alright? What was that about?
I thought if I'd ask her questions, maybe she could help me with my memories. Well, I guess I didn't get anything. Like always.
The larger giant guy, he's kind of walking on the opposite side of the river, and he's looking around, and he kind of points off, like north east of where he's standing, and he goes, "Follow, follow."
Follow the boat, or
Huh?
follow boat, or
No, he's kind of pointing away from the river, like somewhere like off behind the town itself. He's just kind of like urging you to follow him, and Omen starts to kind of cross the river toward him. Um, and when you get to the other side, he like kind of beckons you guys to follow, and Omen's just like, "I guess this is the best lead we got so far, huh?"
yeah.
Um, as you kind of like follow the giant, you arrive at like this large clearing space. There's not a lot of dirt or like grass or anything. It's just kind of like dirt paths and rocks and stuff everywhere. You notice that people might have used this place to kind of camp out overnight and stuff. But way further beyond this, there's like these large boulders that are kind of like put together, and the giant guy like goes over to them and he like pulls one aside, and he unveils that like there's like a stockpile of junk kind of piled in there, kind of like hidden away, right? And he like points at it and he says, "Lost treasure." And Omen kind of looking around, he's like, "This is all Bloodscream armors." He starts to pull out like full sets of armor and capes and laying them off to the side. He takes one of the sigils, which is the human and the dragon bonding with their hands. He like offers it to you, and he says, "Ringing any bells for you?"
History check.
And with this, go ahead and make a wisdom save.
Seven.
7.
Yeah.
You take 11 points of necrotic damage as you touch this medallion. And as it happens, it's almost like you're seeing through your own eyes, but like there's this distortion about it, almost like your eyes are pinpointing on the person in front of you, and it looks like it's a group of people just sitting in a circle next to each other, and they're all clad in their Bloodscream armor, and you hear them kind of talking about how, "Thank God we got out of that. We came a long way. When we escaped that thing, didn't think we'd even make it this far. Hey, who are you?" And they notice as you're approaching, some try to draw their blades, and then in a couple blinks of an eye, it's like you're working your way through them and just killing them one by one. One guy in particular, he's just crawling away from you. Please, I'll disappear, and I won't speak to anyone about this." And you raise the blade, and then you're snapped out of this. Omen's just like, "Lafaye, you okay?"
I killed them.
And a voice in your head starts to say, "No, we killed them. It's good to be back."
He turns around. He said that.
Omen, confused. "What?" And the voice continues in your head, "Oh, Lafaye, there's so much more work to be done. If only your conscience didn't call you home." We could have done so much more.
Out of my head.
But there's loose ends to clean up. Like our friend there. And you kind of feel like this tension pulling in the direction of the new companion that you found. And then him. And it's almost like your attention is drawn towards Omen now. And then there's that girl, of course. You have so much more work to do, Lafaye the Bloodstained.
For the reason. Killing innocent people.
Just loose ends, Lafaye. Just loose ends.
She doesn't get out.
The feeling kind of leaves you, and it's just you standing there amongst Omen and Log. His name is Log, by the way, if you didn't catch that.
Log.
Yep, log, like a log of wood. You okay?
Oh.
I can't tell if you're talking, you keep cutting out.
She says no. Like, she's not okay.
He just kind of looks at you, and they just take in the confusing scenery, and from there, we're going to cut back to Zoe. Zoe, the ship, although it was rocked and moved around, you guys all managed to make it through this encounter through the night. The ship had been steered off in the wrong direction, though, and it took some time for Wave and Maurice, along with you, to kind of figure out their bearings. It's morning, as far as you guys can tell, as night is receded and the daylights come in. The open water no longer has a heavy fog about it, and you do not see any massive monsters or creatures anywhere. The water is still.
She's gonna go ahead and pick up on the other fishing rod and try fishing again.
So, with the fishing line in the water, Maurice is passed out, along with Wave, who's like on the wheel with his like wrists locking it in place. And you hear like the sound of Howard yawning behind you. You catch anything yet?
I just started.
He picks up a fishing pole himself. What the hell was that back there? Felt like
I said, his mother.
You repeat it to him?
Yeah.
You know, this is why I'm so goddamn unpleasant. Every time I run into people, they call me, you weird fucking bunny, you weirdo little humanoid thing. They call me all sorts of names, and I get on this boat. You were still on my boat! You didn't have to disturb me.
It was never your boat to begin with.
Squatter's rights, bitch. There's a tug on his line. Ooh! Fuck! Where are we, anyways? He's like looking at the sky.
Give me 1 second, moving back to the room. All right.
Okay, good.
Zoe's just gonna glance over at him. Why are you actually aggressive though?
Why? I'm a tiny rabbit in a much bigger world. I've had to do some crazy shit to get to where I am right now. And now I'm stuck in the middle of the ocean. Going to the old world. That's such a vague answer. What are we doing in the old world? How did you know I didn't have plans?
If you'd like, I can see if I can make you a boat back home.
Don't be a smartass. I can't sail alone. Kind of owe it to you guys. At least that guy knew how to turn the wheel. Wave on the wheel.
Zoe nodded a bit. Yeah, that is true. To be honest, I'm just glad that we were able to get away from it.
Made me feel like I was being stalked by a predator, some kind of monster in the forest again. Out in the Feywild, everything wanted to eat me.
Mm.
People think, oh, the Feywild, there must be fairies and beautiful creatures and unicorns. No. Hostile as fuck.
Little did you know you're actually inside of the monster.
Hey, what the hell was that?
Pinocchio?
He points ahead across the bow of the ship, and off in the distance, maybe about a couple hours away, you can see that there's a tiny island. It just looks like a black void on top of the water. And he's just kind of like peering his eyes. He's like, am I seeing things, or is that really an island out in the middle of nowhere?
That is an island.
Kind of odd looking, isn't it?
It is.
Like, the closer the boat gets, the more daunting it becomes. It almost like it has its own atmosphere. As like the sky above it, it kind of gives off like this radiated look. And it's casting it in like this black shadow. Wave wakes up at the wheel. No, Mama, I missed you too. Where we at? Oh shit, where we at? He's like looking around. Is that land? Did we make it to the old world? Maurice, wake up! We made it!
I don't think that's the old world. I have a really bad feeling about that place.
Hold on, I know what that is. I know what it is if you know what it is.
What do you think it is?
It's that place from our vision, remember? Look at it. The creature from last night, the weird path we took.
I don't think that's just an island, though.
What the hell is it? And as the boat gets closer and closer, you know, you guys are like waking up and trying to figure out, you know, like what it might be as you're sailing past it. You realize that it is a small island. It's mostly made up of rock. There's a couple of trees on it that look blacked out and dead. And there on the top, there's like this like cliffside that kind of dips off and out of sight. Maurice, like waking up, maybe we can find some coconuts there.
Yeah, sure. Let's go look for coconuts.
as like the boat gets pulled up towards the edge of this island, Howard's just like, am I the only one that screams "fuck no" to this whole place?
No, you're not the only one.
Oh, thank God you're not completely. Thank God you're not completely out of your mind. Better? We're making
That
progress, right?
that was good progress.
Oh, go
I
fuck
want to
yourself, Fox Girl. And he like hops off the boat.
hope you get eaten.
Maurice is just like, maybe he's just hangry.
I think we're all hangry.
He like hops off the boat, looks around. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen sand like this. And like he reaches down and picks up the sand, and there's like little white crystals falling in between it, but the sand is all black. Whoa, cool. Kind of reminds me of lava. You know, like the charcoal.
Zoe's gonna step out and kneel down and touch the sand as well.
Yeah, it feels like sand, but it has like this like grittiness to it that kind of stains your fingers. So you have like black markings all over your hand.
Give me one segundo.
Yeah.
What's it fucking called? Where the fuck? There it is. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and do commune with nature.
Okay.
So, this spell, you briefly become one with nature and gain knowledge of the surrounding territory.
So what you understand is that this is kind of like a dead land. Nothing is really growing here. Like life itself, like plants and everything, and those trees, those are withered away, and they're just kind of like statues in place. There's like nothing left here. Does it give you any sense of like living creatures or anything like that?
Can you repeat that?
So there's no sign of like plant life or anything like that. Like the trees and everything here are dead. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
And then, are you trying to also detect like other like living creatures and such?
We would be able to tell you prevalent plants, minerals, materials, and animals, as well as influence from other planes of existence, as well as powerful celestials, fave beings, elementals, or undead.
You definitely have an undead like aura coming from the center of the island.
Lovely. She's gonna look at Maurice. I don't like this place.
Maurice is just like, yeah, me neither. There's not even a coconut.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty hungry. I'm going back to the boat. Howard's just like, me second. Fuck this. And he like hops up on the boat as well. Wave, however, has continued up the side of the hill of the island. And he's headed towards the middle.
Wait, don't head that way.
His fire spirit hops off his shoulder, lands next to him, and like runs up to the top and looks back at him. And he also looks back at you. And he goes, I'm the realist. I ain't afraid of no shit. And like he continues off and out of sight.
Zoe's gonna let out like a faint growl as she's gonna chase after him.
So as you kind of reach the top, you see him standing there, and sure enough, there's this large willow tree, kind of like bent over, like it's gonna completely fall off the side of the island, right? And at the base, there's a cavern that goes straight down into the earth. And Wave is just kind of looking down into it with his companion next to him.
Zoe's gonna try to remember what she saw in that vision.
he like raises a finger and he like kind of starts to meditate. And you're trying to like kind of scour your mind, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a history check. Do it with advantage as well.
At 15.
So, with 15, you're recollecting that when the vision went into the cave, it was pitch black all except for an eye at the center of it that looked right at you.
She's gonna snap at that wave. You need to get away from that.
What, are you scared? This is where we need to be. I just know it.
I just have a really bad feeling here.
You stay here with the rest, and I'll be right back. And like he like shoulders up and it just like starts to go down into the hole.
Did he jump into the hole?
Like it's steep, but it's like kind of going
Okay.
down. So he's like kind of walking down this thing, and then like sure enough, he gets smaller and smaller and vanishes out of sight.
She's gonna follow him reluctantly.
Yeah, like you're following after, and it's almost like he's like getting further and further away from you. You can see like his spirit animal walking next to him, getting dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. Eris is like next to you. It's weird. From the outside, it felt kind of scary, but now it just feels cold in here. And sure enough, you like the deeper you go, like your breath starts to kind of like plume in front of your face, and you don't see Wave anymore.
I'm gonna go ahead and activate my cloak. Well, my 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 brain.
Her wild-shaped beast cloak.
Please.
Okay.
So she's like kind of in a fiery kimono with Eris kind of.
Definitely lights up the room around you, and you realize that like this dark cavern in the ground is real wet and damp in some places. You can hear like something crawling around above you, but you don't yet see Wave. What you do see ahead of you is like the opening into a larger room. The floor on this other room kind of looks like it's completely paved on the ground, like cement's been paved into the floor. It's very off-putting considering the rest of the island and its appearance. There's also kind of like this faint glow coming from inside of it. What do you do? What do you do?
He's asking, what do you do?
She's gonna go ahead and. I got you.
Produce flame?
Yes, thank you. Very much, my book. She's gonna go ahead and produce flame in her hand to light up the room more.
So, carrying the flame in your hand, you go forward to the end of this tunnel, right?
Yeah.
When you kind of enter the room, you don't see a source of light, but it has like this aura, like a bluish white aura glowing around this room, right? And as you kind of stand at its center, you're looking around, there's no doors or other passages or anything like that. Go ahead and make a perception check.
An 11.
Okay. With an 11, you see the obvious thing in the room. When you look around the first time, you don't see it. And then when you turn your attention back towards the way you came, you realize that the entrance is gone. And you hear a voice inside of your head, harsh and gritty, says, "Another has come to
Oh,
visit
Lord.
me.
Okay, Voldemort.
Do you seek godhood amongst others?"
Did
And
you just say, do you see godhood?
yes,
Okay,
seeking power,
continue, sorry.
strength can be the ruin of oneself. And when you turn, you see that there is now a mantle on the opposite side of where you came in from, and there's a glass dome on top of it. And there is what looks like this little, like a holder, kind of looks like this, made of crystal. And sitting on top of it is what looks like a little ball. What do you do?
She's gonna walk up towards it cautiously.
Many heroes have come to see me and failed my test. Some, most, have lost their lives. Years, centuries of existing, I have found my purpose. Perhaps you will find yours. And as you approach the stand, right?
Mm-hmm.
You peer into the glass. You see this like little white ball begin to like shake and move, and then it flips, and you realize it's an eye staring back at you.
Oh, Jesus.
The room around you begins to grow darker, and you realize that someone's struggling off to your left.
She's gonna look over towards, to see what's struggling.
When you peer over, you look and you see that Wave is entrapped in what looks like a bunch of vines around his body. And it's like strapped around his face and his mouth and completely constricting him. You don't see his companion anywhere. Behind him, you notice that there's like a figure like staring at you. Its eyes are glowing this like almost like a bluish white, matching the tone of the room. And they appear like they're naked almost. Very grotesque looking skin, almost like it's faded and peeled in some places. It's got little holes and stuff like that across it, like he's had many injuries. His face is contorted, and on the left side, where the eye should be, you notice that it's missing. So he just has the one glowing eye. And they stand up straight. You have come a long way on your own, haven't you? Not
You
knowing,
could say that.
not knowing what awaits you at the end of your path. And as he like steps out from behind Wave, Wave like suddenly like goes still and seemingly like unconscious. The creature looks up at Wave and looks back at you. He will have to pass his own test. And when he steps out fully, you realize that he's wearing kind of like these long robes, silky robes to cover like his, his body. But that which is exposed, like I said, is withered and broken, and he looks like an undead creature. And as he steps further into the light, you see that he's missing his right hand. And he looks to you and he says, "Many teachings I have, many failures to
One truth remains. I do not wish to die in a black world without fire to warm my soul. Are you that which will take the flame? Or will you die here under Vecna's power?
And that's where we end tonight's session.
Did you just run